Hello, my name is Enrique, and today I'll be showing you how to make an elevator in Unity using triggers. So the first thing you want to do is open up Unity, which I've done right here. And then you're going to want to make a new project, which is File, New Project, name it. The important part is that you select the character controller package. You're going to need a character controller. Then once you've got Unity opened up, you want to go to Game Object, Create Other, and then start making your elevator, or Assets, Import New Asset. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to be making a really simple elevator. Boom. Find that a little more. And boom, there's my first wall. And then you want to duplicate that with Control D, move it to the side a little, and then duplicate it again. And you're going to rotate this one along the Y axis. And then you want to stretch it. This is going to be the back of your elevator shaft. Like that. Then you want to duplicate this one more time, and this time you're going to rotate it along the Z direction here to make the platform or the elevator, whatever you want to call it. Move that to the bottom. And of course, every elevator needs a second floor to take you to, so you're going to duplicate this one, go up however much you want, and just make a second floor. There you go. There's basic shape. But I don't like all the white, so I went ahead and made some new materials to color them all. Now this is really simple. You just right click in the Assets folder, you go to Create, then you go down to Material. It's going to make a new material, and you pick a different color, add a texture, whatever you want. And then applying that is as easy as clicking and dragging. And there you go. You've got some nice, not sterile white floors and walls and stuff. So we've gotten the basic game objects in, but I can't really tell which is which. So real quick, we just gotta rename them. There's your walls, there's the platform, and there is the second floor. So that's the basics down. Now comes the most important part. You need to make a trigger zone on top of this platform, because you're going to move your character into that zone to get it to move. So in order to do this, and to make sure that that zone moves with the platform, you need to make sure you have the platform selected, then go to Game Object, Create Empty Child, which is just an invisible dot, but it's attached to the platform. Then to make your trigger zone, first you need to make sure you have the empty child selected, then go to Component, Physics, down to Box Collider. And this is the fun bit. Because it was a child, the collider is already the size of that platform. And you can leave it like this, that's perfectly fine. But I prefer to make it a little taller, just because it helps me. And then right now this is just the collider. If you tried to jump onto that platform, you would just run into an invisible wall. So you need to make sure you have the is trigger checkbox selected. Now it's a trigger zone. It still won't do anything though, because we need to do the next part, which is creating and then attaching the scripts. Now, creating a script in Unity is fairly simple. You right click in the assets folder, go back to create, and then either JavaScript or C# script or Boo script, but I prefer Java. So here we go. You're going to need to make 2 triggers. The first trigger is this one, elevator or platform or whatever you want to name it. Now this one needs 3 variables. The first variable, elevator, is going to be attached to platform. It's going to tell this script that's what you're working on, that's what you're moving up. The second variable is telling the script which direction to move in. It says right, but that's because I guess the way I coded it was weird, so when this says right, it actually moves up. But yeah, this is gonna tell it up would go here for you, or maybe right if your code is wonky like mine is, but this is telling the platform to move up. Just trust me on that, you'll see it later on. And then this third variable, platform speed, is telling this script how fast to move the platform. There's 1F, 2F, 3F. I picked 1F because it's slow and it feels more realistic as far as elevators go. Then you also need to use these 2 functions here. Update, which runs every frame and tells the platform to keep moving up. Because without update, it would just move once and then stop. And that would make for a very crappy elevator. Oh, balls. And then the second function is what's actually telling the platform to move. So elevator.transform.parent equals transform is attaching elevator to transform. So then when you go transform.translate, this is attached to the elevator, which is attached to the platform, so the platform moves. And you're telling it to move up at platform speed once a second. So once you've got that script done, you need to highlight platform, attach the script by clicking on it and dragging it here, and then you need to link platform to the variable elevator. So you're going to click on platform, drag it into the box, and there you go, you're done. Now you need to make the second script. Same thing, right click, create, JavaScript. Now the second script you need is this one, trigger. This script disables the other script when you press play or when you start the game, what have you, then re-enables it when you get into the trigger zone and disables it when you get out. So you need 2 variables, player, game object. You're going to be attaching this to a player controller. This keeps you from falling through the platform and then not going anywhere. The second script is script of type elevator. Now this is going to be whatever name you gave to the first script, because this tells trigger to call elevator or to work on elevator. So the first function is awake. This means it'll work as soon as you start up the game or press play, what have you, and it just disables the script on startup. Then on trigger enter enables the script when you walk into the trigger zone, and on trigger exit disables the script when you get out. So this one you need to attach to the trigger zone. Make sure it's the trigger zone, not platform, otherwise it might still work, but it's probably not going to. And then you just click and drag, and you make your character controller. Make sure you move it up so you don't fall through the floor. And then you just click on that, drag it into the player box, and then you're going to click on platform, drag that into the script box. And there you go. Now let's test it out. There I am, the platform's not moving. And now the platform is moving because I'm in the trigger zone. This feels like an actual elevator speed. Then you get out, platform's not moving anymore. So there you go. That's how you make a simple elevator in Unity using triggers. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.